Putin's war in Ukraine is nearing its one-year mark since Russia's invasion. Greta is currently in Ukraine, where she is seeing Putin's war firsthand and how nearly 1 year of war affects innocent people. Today, she spoke to a pastor from Poletsky, Ukraine, on the struggles of Putin's war.
Pastor, thank you for talking to me, sir.
Yes, my pleasure.
Can you give me any idea? You've been to the areas that were occupied by the Russians. What was it like?
A lot of pain. It's hard to describe with everything, the whole picture of what people had to go through. But if I would use maybe one word, just like pain, a lot of pain. The pain from destruction, pain from people being killed, losses, and the pressure that people were under while Russians were on those Ukrainian territories. We saw those people's faces, their eyes. You just look in their eyes and you see huge pain. What
did the Russians do? Were there the war crimes and atrocities that we've been hearing about?
Yeah. The worst what people could expect really happened. Buildings were broken, destroyed by tanks, by air bombs, and people were killed, shot, tortured. Just a few miles away from my village where I live, the head of the village was tortured terribly, and her family, and brutally killed. So that's, in general, I can tell you how much pain did it bring.
So the Russians have now been pushed out of there, right?
Right.
Have the people returned? Some of them?
Some people have returned. And people have such a strong desire to resist what Russia has done that they don't want to leave their homes. They want to restore their homes and rebuild.
And the displaced persons, have they left Ukraine, most of them?
Yes. As statistics tells us, about 8 million people have left the country, and about few more million have moved from the east of Ukraine to the west part.
So what do you foresee is going to happen? I mean, we're approaching the one-year anniversary. Give me some idea of, how you see this proceeding.
We all are waiting for the victory. Ukraine is strongly believing in victory and wants to do everything possible for the victory. And the victory in our minds is to liberate all Ukrainian territories to the eastern borders with Russia, and including Crimea. So it doesn't matter how long it will take, Ukraine wants to stand and reach that point. Whenever the victory will come, people have strong desire to restore the country. Even those cities that were completely burned down, destroyed to the ground, even those places, people say, we will go back and we will restore.
I hear so much inspiration and talked about strength and the Ukrainian strength, everything. But, for me coming here, I think, you're still in a war. There are still people hungry. There's still people without power. You're still getting missiles, fired at you by Russia. I mean, Putin doesn't seem to be giving up. I don't get that sense of, that horrible despair that, that I have seen what you're going through.
I think, God has given people a superpower to adapt to any circumstances they get into. We are inspired by the love for our country and for the freedom. We live under pressure. People who left country and crossed the border with Poland, they witnessed and said to us, we immediately felt this pressure lifted off of our shoulders, and we cried for days. And I think those who are staying right now in Ukraine, we do live under pressure. You don't see this despair maybe and pain in us because we are mobilized right now to resist whatever Russia brings against us. I think when the victory will come, I think the time will come when we will be crying a lot and maybe just restoring our emotional health and everything what we went through.
Well, in the meantime, there are families that are broken up with the women and children have gone out of country.
Yes.
The men have stayed back to fight.
Yes.
Missiles are being fired at you.
Yes.
Putin's not giving up.
Yep.
It's cold.
Yep.
And people are hungry and hurting. And you've got the atrocities.
Yeah. We who live in Ukraine, we are surprised by ourselves, what we can do and what how much we are standing against. We are surprised. We thought, and so many people thought in the first days, we will lose the whole country in a few days. But we saw how people, little by little, were coming up, standing strong, and Russia was running away. And that gave us strong belief that it could last not only first few days, but we can stay strong like this till the very end of the war and overcome.
I hope it comes soon.
We believe so.
Thanks, sir.